with Auburn Athletic Director John Cohen to talk a little bit about the state of Auburn sports right now. John, let's jump right in here. The mark of every athletic director in the SEC is how their head coach does their football. You hired Hugh Freeze in year one. Give me a quick assessment of the football program in year one and what you've seen there and what you're looking forward to based on what he's kind of accomplished here.
Well, the first 12 months are a ton of evaluation, right? You're evaluating your staff, you're evaluating your squad, and you have to make sure that the culture is where you want it. We know that we're going to get talented kids and talented coaches here at Auburn University. We always have, and that's really important. But the most important thing besides that is having a culture moving forward that really expounds upon the creed, really, which talks about in its second sentence, we believe in work, hard work. That has to be the generating force. And I think Coach Freeze, more than anything else, has gotten that building, that Waltos Football Performance Center, into a place where everybody's pulling in the same direction. And again, the roster isn't exactly where we want it to be. We'd like some freshmen to be seniors right now, but they're going to be freshmen. But you look at this class and you look at what has happened over the last 13, 14 months in terms of that recruiting class, and you say he comes here, we're in the 40s or 50s or 60s as a recruiting class. Now we have a top 10 class at Auburn University, and I'm so excited with the things that are happening, not only football, but in all of our sports. Just tonight as we film, we're going to play Kentucky. What an incredible atmosphere we had for game day. Game day comes to Auburn 4 years in a row. Just incredible what's happening here at Auburn University.
Do you feel like Coach Freeze understands that he has the time to do, to build this thing? It takes time to get a program into a consistent winner, but the pressure sometimes feels overwhelming for certain coaches. Depending on the school you're at Auburn, football's super important. What is his feeling? What kind of conversations have you guys had about the time that it takes to build this thing into a winner?
Well, the message was this: when we got here, there's no question, we're struggling a little bit. We're going to be honest. When at that point in time, it's not the standard that Auburn has had in the past, and we didn't get to that point overnight, and we're not going to get out of that overnight as well. But you keep taking steps, you keep taking positive movements, and eventually Hugh Freeze and his staff here at Auburn are really going to have some exciting times ahead.
Well, they're certainly doing their best to flip the script. The recruiting class is a great start. A lot of excitement in the fan base. John, let's move on to basketball. Part of your mission when you came here was the fan culture, right? The fan support. It's something that you've kind of majored in at every stop that you've been in. And since you've been here at Auburn, the experience in every sport, it seems like it's gone to like a grade A experience. It is national news that Neville Arena is not a place you can get out of alive with a win if you're an opposing team. Bruce Pearl has built something special here even before you got here, but you've helped him build that experience into something that is even more special than it already was.
Well, Mike, I'm going to tell you, way before John Cohen was here, there was an incredible atmosphere in our arena, and Neville's just, I have to say, I've been very fortunate in my career. I've been able to go to a lot of these facilities. There is no home field court advantage like Neville Arena. It is something unlike I haven't seen. And I think a lot of schools around, not only the SEC, but around the country, have kind of copied the nature, the blueprint of Neville Arena. But I'm not sure anybody's been able to recreate what's happening there. It is in a different level atmosphere, and it has a lot to do with those who designed that building, of which I'm not one of those people, Jay Jacobs and others, but it also has a lot to do with Bruce Pearl. And Bruce is at one. He is part of our fan base. He will cross any room to encourage anybody. Mike, you've seen that over and over and over again. Bruce is one of the many reasons I wanted to be at Auburn University. He is a winner, and he will do whatever it takes to be part of this Auburn community, and I feel privileged to get to work with Bruce every day.
You didn't hire Bruce Pearl, but you inherited, obviously, a great basketball coach. As we're sitting here, I see you wearing the Outlive Foundation shirt. That's something that's near and dear to Coach Pearl's heart. I had a close friend that was also close to Bruce that passed away last year. Her name was Nikki Sheik. She had stage 4 cancer when she passed, but she helped Bruce Pearl organize a lot of things for Outlive in that mission to try to help, people with cancer. How important has it been to have a role model like Bruce Pearl as a head coach of one of your major sports programs?
It's phenomenal, and I take a great. It is such a privilege for me to be in that locker room with the players and with Bruce. He is a maestro with his staff of getting the most out of that group, and he's this. I spent a lot of time in my career coaching. He is this really delicate balance of taking input from his players, listening to his players, but never forgetting that he is running that program. He is calling the shots. He what he says goes. But there's this mutual respect that he has with his players. And listen, sometimes it's contemptuous. I mean, sometimes they're going. But in any family,
Yeah.
in any family, you're going to have a little bit of that. If you don't, then you have a bunch of people who really don't care. And when you have a bunch of people who really care, you're going to have those times where the energy gets the most. But it's so much fun to watch how he operates this program with his staff and to see how the players respond to him and how the fans respond to him. And it's a privilege to be part of it.
It's crazy. As a student here in the early 2000s, you could find basketball tickets on the ground outside of Beard Eves Coliseum. Now, standing room only. As we're recording this, Auburn will play Kentucky tonight in basketball. It's become one of the hottest tickets in the SEC. College game day is here. Again, you've been kind of the architect of an experience that is now nationally renowned. So I want to talk about the other side of that coin. Bruce Pearl shares Neville Arena with Coach Johnny Harris on the women's side.
Right.
They are building something special on that side as well, too. As a matter of fact, their theme for the season is The Rise. She took over a winless SEC squad. They matched last year's SEC win total at 5 wins. They're going to surpass that. Talk about what she's doing there and the support that she seems to be drumming up. She's going door to door like Pearl did, asking fans, show up for this team. Can you talk about women's basketball for a second?
Yeah, so proud of Johnny. You're right. We're playing South Carolina on the men's side. She takes the microphone and says, I need you. Taking kind of a page out of Coach Pearl's playbook. And those two work so well with each other. But Johnny knows what it's supposed to look like. Johnny has been part of a national championship, I believe, at A&M as an assistant. And 2 trips to the championship game at Mississippi State. I've known Johnny for a long time. She knows what it's supposed to look like, and she can get a ton out of her players as well. She's a great evaluator. She is an authority figure to these kids, and I just believe in Johnny. I think she is a tremendous human being. She's not the person who's going to be highly vocal but she is somebody who really understands the game, really understands recruiting. And boy, I tell you what, her teams play defense.
Yeah.
And that's where it all starts.
40 minutes of hell is the
Yes.
theme for Auburn women's basketball when they're playing. They're going to give you 40 minutes of hell on the defensive side. She's been open about NIL and needing support there to continue to build. It's a new day, right? This has been this is a real part of recruiting. It's something that coaches have to deal with not only in high school recruiting, but in re-recruiting their current rosters because of the new portal rules. Have you sat down and talked to her about the plan for what she needs to continue to build this thing into a winner?
We have. We just met the other day, in fact, and Johnny has some great ideas. When you talk about NIL, the NCAA allows an administration to work with their coaches to help collectives, to help and connect
Wow.
the process. But inevitably, a lot of that falls on the coach and their ability to connect with donors, with a fan base as well. And I think Johnny has really taken huge strides in that area. And we're going to be there to support her and her program. Now, what is NIL? Where's it going to be 12 months from now? Where was it 12 months ago? How does the NCAA interpret what NIL really is? Is it going to be something that's going to be internal? Is it always going to be external? Is it going to be decided in a courtroom, in a federal courtroom?
Yeah.
Or is it going to be decided in our federal government? Nobody really knows. And until that happens, we feel like we're just kind of chasing our own tails. We're not going to stop competing for Auburn University. We're going to do whatever we can within the current rules, and of course the rules are changing all the time, to help us be as competitive as we can in that market. But it sure would help if we had a national standard of some kind to help us all know what's in bounds, what's out of bounds. And right now you have attorney generals, you have all kinds of things going on in our industry, who are fighting against NCAA rules.
Yeah.
All that, I'm not even making a statement about any of that. What I'm saying right now is our stance at Auburn is that we need some type of national standard for moving forward, and that's going to help us because we're going to excel when that happens.
Yeah, I know that NIL rules have been kind of a moving target. I think the university has done a great job in trying to stay ahead of the curve, but also stay within the spirit of what NIL was intended to be. As we're filming this, we're sitting in the baseball training facility that is a program that's headed by a coach who's doing something special literally as we speak. Butch Thompson, another amazing role model and mentor for an Auburn sports program. The expectation now here is College World Series or bust, it feels like. We did a tour with Coach Thompson of the field and some of the improvements. You've got students in the outfield now. There's going to be like a VIP experience. You guys got some exciting things going on in upgrading the fan experience for baseball as well too. Can you talk about the vision there?
Sure. What you're seeing right now is phase one. What we've done is add 108 seats right behind home plate and a viewing area also for season ticket holders who are a part of our Hall of Fame club. And the Hall of Fame club is terrific. It really reminds you of really Wrigley Field, and underneath it has an old school feel to it. Just seeing hundreds and hundreds of fans go through there last night for the first time and seeing them get food, seeing them with a fully stocked, heated and cooled area that they could go into was just tremendous. And I think, again, it's a great first step. We will do things in our press box to create a club there. Down the right field line, we'll have some improvements there. And of course, on top of the green monster that we have, we'll have fan seating above that as well. So there's so many things that are going to happen in the next calendar year. We're off to a great start in phase one, but from the things that are going to happen, we're really excited about what's going to happen in the next 365 days.
Oh man, the baseball experience is amazing. For fans who haven't experienced it, Hitchcock Field has turned in again to another one of those fan experiences that gets talked about in every press conference when you come to the Plains to play baseball. I want to finish up talking about gymnastics.
Sure.
Coach Graba had a larger than life athlete last year in Suni Lee. And in her absence, he's continued the enthusiasm around gymnastics. So they use that to kind of build something that they've taken to another level. If you go to gymnastics meets, Neville packs out for gymnastics.
That's right.
You've got a family culture where mothers are bringing their daughters who dream of gymnastics to come here to Auburn to watch their mentors compete in a sport that honestly takes a lot that most people don't realize athletically. Talk about Coach Graba. He's such a special person to spend time with.
He really is, and he gets so much, again, out of our student athletes. I've said that about many of our coaches. Jeff's done a terrific job. He's really raised the standard here at Auburn for gymnastics. Let's face it, it's the big leagues. You look at SEC gymnastics, those Friday night lights, it's the big leagues. You're off by an inch and you're going to get beat on a Friday night. But what I know from Jeff is we're going to keep getting better. We have so many young gymnasts, and we just lost really one of the athletes that transcended her sport, not only at the collegiate level, but at the international and the Olympic level as well. So it's tough to replace her. But again, the atmosphere we have, huge win over Alabama just the other day. Yeah. Just to show us what those kids are capable of doing as well. Hey, by the way, gymnastics, brand new locker room facility by their practice facility.
Okay.
Same thing for softball as well. So many facility enhancements that are happening right now that we're awfully proud of.
Auburn has a lot of gracious donors that they donate money because of the experience that you've helped cultivate here, where they come in and they see the excitement around women's basketball and gymnastics and some of the Olympic sports, and they say, we want to get involved. You currently have a project going to renovate the scoreboard in the north end zone in Jordan-Hare Stadium. How can fans get involved in helping Auburn athletics reach that next level of fan experience?
Well, they can certainly reach out to us. We would love to hear from anybody who wants to be involved in
Tigers
this project.
Unlimited?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Tigers Unlimited for sure. And you go to that website and it gives you all types of information of how to contact us. But I will say, that's one of the things about being at Auburn that's a special experience for me as well. This outpouring of support, understanding that there's always going to be good times and times that aren't as good. but understanding of where we're going from here. The fan base and our donors have just been terrific. Now with name, image, and likeness as well, we've had a lot of our donors step up and help that collective on to victory. So that's an important part of what we're doing for now. In the future, maybe it's sourced differently and maybe it looks differently, but for now, we still need that support for On to Victory, and we also need support with enhancing our facilities.
I have one more question,
Sure.
and I may cut this out of the interview, but in the past, right, like those donations have gone directly to Tigers Unlimited. Now you have On to Victory, but you've got a lot of generous donors who may have the same amount of dollars. Like, has it been a challenge a little bit with those funds being split maybe between On to Victory and Tigers Unlimited?
I think you can say across the country at the Power 5 level that there's been a little bit of a drop-off on facility engagement in terms of donors because of this need for collectives.
How do you fill that gap?
Yeah, it's difficult. Again, I keep going back to what I'm talking about with a national standard. Once you have a national standard, and if it's sourced internally, moving forward, we're going to be able to do some things to help our student athletes, but also help our fans and our facilities. We need that standard. I sound like a broken record, but once that happens, I think we will get back to campaigns that will enhance our facilities. And yes, we have some big dreams here at Auburn University. Dr. Chris Roberts said from the moment I met him, Auburn has earned the opportunity to dream big, and that's what we're going to do.
Well, that national standard, we certainly hope that happens for current and future student athletes. You're setting a standard here at Auburn as athletic director that I think fans hope results in championships in the future. I want to thank you for taking some time to sit down with me and talk a little bit about the state of Auburn athletics. We'll be back to reassess this after the spring and talk about how some of those programs have done. So thank you, John.
Absolutely, Mike. Thank you.
That's it for another great edition of The Mix with my guy, John Cohen, Athletic Director at Auburn University. If you want more content like this, please hit like and subscribe. We are The War Report on every social media platform, TW Report on TikTok. We're signing off, and as always, War Eagle.